What's up YouTube? Good morning everybody. Today's video I wish to touch on some strategies on how to handle the NightBlade in ESO PvP. I believe I'm not alone here in having unpleasant experiences with this particular class in both Cyrodiil and Imperial City. They are like rats and cockroaches that suddenly appear behind you and do their deadly incapacitating strike. So hell of annoying and irritating. In fact, I've met this class so often that I've developed a kind of strategy to deal with them, which I will go through, so hang around in this video. So here I am, gallivanting on my way in the memorial sector of Imperial City, until I meet this particular raid that comes running along the way. Now I'm not very sure what class he is at the moment. He's all decked in black, so he could be a Necro, he could be a NightBlade, he could be a Dragon Knight that likes gothic fashion. I don't know, right? So usually my modus operandi is to just fire my Haunting Curse. That is my rotation, the very first spell I fire onto any opponent regardless of class. And then once this guy starts to cloak, okay, I know that I'm dealing with a NightBlade here, which is what I need to employ. The second most important skill for Assault is the Streak. As you can see, previously he was over here and I can only imagine him trying to get away to the door if he does not want to fight me. So which is why I aim my Streak in this direction, roughly in this area, to see if I can hit him. And lo and behold, I got him. At the same time, my Haunting Curse is about to explode. Now, Haunting Curse is very important and you must always cast it repeatedly on the NightBlade for two reasons. Firstly, the curse would actually reveal the location of the NightBlade regardless of where he is concealed. And secondly, it exerts damage over time pressure on your opponent. The Haunting Curse will launch 2 times, once after the 3rd second and the second one, I'm not too sure, I think about the 7th or the 8th second. But it is important to keep their health bar under pressure. So what I always do is to keep repeating my Haunting Curse the moment I see him before he disappears. So here I am again, another Haunting Curse, and then he's trying to get away from me, and I'm sure he's trying to conceal again. He's going in this direction, and I think at this point he may have figured out that I am aware of which trajectory he's going, so he's probably going to be somewhere along the back, which is, I'm correct in this case. He's actually gone back to hide behind the pillar, trying to be slippery, but I caught him. With some experience, you will know where the NightBlade would tend to go. Just aim for the opposite direction after the first few runs, right? So I'm going to launch the Haunting Curse yet again to mark him, and he's trying to get away in this direction. And this time round, I wanted to follow him. I think I could get him along here, but he is probably sneaking to the back. You know, I make a wrong gamble, so I immediately turn around, because he should probably be in the opposite direction, so that's where he is again. And he's buffing himself up quite consistently, which is what you want a NightBlade to do. You want him to be consuming potions, to be casting healing spells, and you don't want him to be casting incapacitating strike on you. So keep your distance, launch a curse again. He was going in this direction previously, so I feel that this time around he should be somewhere over here, but who knows, right? So I follow his trajectory. Nope, he sneaked up behind me, and this is where he launched his incapacitating strike. This comes to my next point. The incapacitating strike will stun you, and likely they use dual wield, so they have the certain passive that gains I think it's a 15% damage increase once you are stunned. This is where you need to be a vampire stage 3 when you are dealing with Night Sock. In fact, in any form of PvP play, I highly recommend you to acquire Vampire Stage 3 so that you do not get 1 shot or 2 shot in situations like this. So this is where he went. His health bar is actually quite low, and now he's trying to recast his healing again, but a little too late, because he looked at my health bar and with Vigor I was able to resume almost back to full health bar. I got a proc over here on my Crystal Frag. I launched my curse, and then my ultimate is building up, so I can use my Dawnbreaker. This is a good situation. I'm just looking for a good chance so that everything can be burst at one go. And okay, I managed to use my proc. I didn't even have to use my Dawnbreaker. 16 NightBlades down, 4 more to go for that reward. Now another kind of situation is where you spot the NightBlade from afar. And you will know he's a NightBlade because he will start to cloak immediately. Or he could just be a vampire, or just be a normal other PvP player who decides to hide. I don't know, it could be either or. But always assume that he's a NightBlade. And he disappears on sight. Okay, for example, in this situation, I spotted this guy from afar. And then actually, as I'm farming the ads, right, my eye is actually on this guy and not on the ads, because ads are just ads, right? They can't do much damage. So I'm looking at him, and then he's also farming ads, and then he disappeared. Presumably, he has seen me from afar. Now, there are only two possibilities that can be extended from this particular scenario. Number one, he's going to be lying in ambush somewhere around this zone to wait for me to cross over. Or number two, he's heard of my fearsome name and he's made a run for it to the nearest door. So I'm always going to be assuming that it's number one, he's around the corner trying to ambush me, because number two is not so likely. I don't think I'm that famous. So here we go. Let me just finish this particular ad first. That would be good to get my ultimate up. It's still not high enough for my Dawnbreaker. Okay, 117. Now I can launch my Dawnbreaker. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a cat and mouse game over here. I'm going to stay hidden. I'm just going to observe my back and my front. Just rotate around. Make sure you're not just looking one direction. Then I'm going to farm another ad, firstly to increase my ultimate, and secondly to bait this guy out if he is hiding around this zone. Because with Vampire Stage 3, I'm pretty confident that I can tank his incapacitating strike if he does not have any ally. And true enough, there he goes. He launched his first incapacitating strike. He's a bow and arrow NightBlade, and it did a very pitiful amount of damage, which is why I know I should be able to take down this guy. And yeah, okay, so couple of things, right? I don't think he's prepared for the battle. So basically, I just need to launch my Haunting Curse. He did not even try to cloak again after that. I used Streak to stun him, and I launched my Dawnbreaker. The key thing to take away from this particular battle is to try to end a fight with a Nightblade as soon as you can. Line up your burst and pray to your respective deities that your burst land. Because as a battle with a Nightblade drags on, it becomes increasingly more disadvantageous to you, if that's one way to put it. Because he can always cloak and he can always hide, but your resources, either one of the 3 bars, are almost always on the decline because you're spamming. So one lesson to learn from this is if you cannot get rid of the Nightblade within 2 or 3 rounds, just GTFO, yeah, get the fuck off the place. And then just move on. It is unlikely the Nightblade in its cloak status is able to pursue you. So go away, hide if you need to, sneak back to the area and wait for the Nightblade to reveal himself, right? So I hope this video has been generally helpful, even in one way or another, for you to be dealing with the most hated class in ESO. Find them, purge them, kill them without mercy. I see you in the next video, everyone. Thank you and goodbye.